Hey, what's up guys? So we are going to be doing the deck profile for the 3/4 axis Fire Fist deck. Now I've been doing a lot of testing. A lot of the testing actually isn't uploaded because first turn I make one play, which is basically the standard if you guys haven't seen. It's basically just horse prince into chicken in face-up attack position. Sometimes I'll have a Tenki or Tensu there, and then basically what happens is I have a field, my opponent goes for a play, either I use one of my trap cards or I'll have Maxi or Valor, and then at that point they can't really do anything, and then I just push for game. It's a really simple deck to play, and it's actually very viable. But like I said, I've been doing a lot more testing than the videos I've uploaded, simply because the videos weren't interesting. It's just me OTKing essentially on turn basically 2 to 3, and they can't make a play. So let me go ahead and get to my explanations and why I'm playing certain cards that you guys might think, why aren't you playing this card? Why aren't you playing this card? And I'll get to my explanations. But if you guys want to actually just download the deck through the DevPro and just like copy and paste the actual YDK file, I'll have a link below in the description box as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off, I play Triple Blaster. Triple Blaster is amazing in this deck, not only because Blaster is Blaster and he's 2800. Being able to pop a card is great too, but the main reason why I'm playing Triple Blaster, it opens so many plays where I can go for a first turn Horse Prince into, Chicken into it, add Spirit, and then set up again for another huge push on the next turn. It's just amazing, even though technically Blaster won't be able to attack the turn you go for Spirit's effect because only Beast Warrior type monsters can attack. He's still there as just like a wall, and who cares if he returns to your hand? You can just special summon him again. He's just a very dirty card, but what it comes down to is I like to use his effect to pop a card and then discard something like a leopard, or discarding chicken, or if I really need to I can discard Spirit and then Spirit into Spirit, and then actually just go for like a Zen Mains if I really need to go on some defensive plays. But yeah, I just love Blaster in the deck. I think he's a fantastic addition to the deck, and I love playing 3 of them. Next up, I'm playing 3 Wolfbark. He allows you to go for the rank 4. That's why it's the rank 3 and 4, just to have that variety. It's pretty good. There's a lot of times we can throw up about 7,600 damage. That's just like the number that ends up getting thrown out there. A lot of times when I go for the Spirit play, if you have Tensu or Tenki, you can basically go off if you have both the cards in your hand. Whether you need to add this or this, it's pretty good. If you happen to already have a level 4 in the graveyard, you can go Wolfbark into Bear or another Wolfbark, and then what you do is you make this guy over here Tiger King, and then you go Tenki or Tensu, whatever you need, to summon the other Spirit. Then from Spirit Summon, you go for the standard Horse Prince play plus Chicken, and you can throw up a huge amount of damage on board, depending on what they have. Sometimes you can just finish off the game, depending if they activate like a warning or if you maybe poked them before. So the 3 and 4 Axis Fire Fist deck is pretty good, simply because it has access to this card. There is still a lot of Mermail players, and this card is fantastic, as anyone knows that plays Mermails. This card, it hurts sometimes. Sometimes you simply just lose. Or Dark World, that's a deck that didn't get hit at all, and people might be playing that, so Abyss Dweller is a fantastic card. Next up, I'm just playing 2 Bear, just because I feel like Bear is a fantastic card, but majority of the time, you're going to be going off for bigger plays. Technically, there is a card that lets you recycle Bear, but generally, you're just going to go for this guy, and he can essentially get you any rank 4, and then from there you can get rid of problematic cards. If you really need to pop a certain card, you have access to popping or sending it to the graveyard, or putting it face down. Whatever you need to do, I think that 2 Bears is sufficient. Next up, I only play 1 Rooster, and the reason why I'm playing 1 Rooster is because I do not play Gyoku, which is the other continuous fire formation that a lot of players like. Now, I don't really like that card too much. It's not a bad card, don't get me wrong, but for the way the metagame looks, I wanted to try to put in 3 Maxi and 3 Valor, simply because I've been doing a lot of mirror matches, and in mirror match, my deck almost always wins. I haven't faced up against another Fire Fist player that actually beat me, playing pretty much the same build. I'm not sure if they were playing 3 or 4 in combination, but most of the 3 access decks that I've been playing, it's all I win within 1-2 turns. If I go for my first turn play, and I feel like I can get out my first turn play a lot more consistently because I have the Blaster's ability to pop the card and send a level 3 to the graveyard, because there's sometimes where you just set up, you get Leopard in the graveyard, and you put a Tenki there, you activate Tenki and you search for Spirit, and then your turn ends, because if you don't have a Tensu, that's basically what happens. Whereas Blaster allows you to actually go for a first turn play. So if I'm able to get my first turn Horse Prince and Chicken out, and then on their turn I activate a Maxi or an Effect Valor, at that point they basically either are put in a position where they have to make a play, and then I get significant card advantage, or stop their play completely. They have a 500 attack position monster, and then I end up winning the next turn because what I do is just, if I already have the Horse Prince, I just go for the cookie cutter loop play again, and then I finish them off, and they can't really do anything about it because most of the time, once your monsters are already on board, you don't really have to worry about Mirror Force. That's not too much of a popular card that is seeing play, especially now because a lot of players are playing Yoku, so keep that in mind as well. And if your chicken does get bottomless, it's not the end of the world. Remember that you can still go for rank 3 guys, and Levier just gets back your chicken or rooster. Also, Blaster, you can just banish it. Sometimes I'll banish it, then I'll put it back on the field. I don't know, I just like to get it out. But majority of the time, whenever I banish card, I always like to banish Bear, and then get back Bear with Levier, then get that direct attack in, add a Tenki, add a Tensu, whatever I need for the right situation. Next up, I play 3 Spirit. There's no reason why you wouldn't want to play 3 Spirit. Sometimes, it's good to make a Zen mains if you really need to, but generally, it's just, you go for the Horse Prince play. There's also this card called Beast God Vulcan. This name will definitely be changed in TCG. We don't have any thing to do with God in its name. Anything with God, there's some other thing that we changed, but there's going to be no cards with God in it, so keep in mind this card's name will probably be changed when it comes out in TCG. Next up, I play 3 Leopard. Leopard is kind of one of those cards where it's good within the first like 3 turns. It's basically like I want to say Venus if you've played Asians. Basically, it's only good within the first 3 turns. After you use the effect once, that's pretty much all it's used for. But sometimes if you want to go for a Tensu or a Tenki, it is available for you at that point because he doesn't have good attack or defense, so he's not very good if you can't search for anything. So he's just there, but he's level 3, so you can definitely get it back also with Spirit. Keep in mind, you can also get Chicken back and immediately get Chicken's effect. That's another reason why I only really need to play 1 Chicken, because you can't get Chicken's effect multiple times per turn. Otherwise, it'd be too good. Like that, you could do Spirit, because you can do Spirit into Chicken, get Chicken effect, and then once you go for Horse Prince, you get Horse Prince's effect. You can get out another Chicken, but you can't get the additional effect of Chicken, so that's, again, another reason why I'm only playing 1 Chicken, especially when I'm not playing any Yoku. So, next up, 3 Maxi, 3 Valor, because like I said, it's a very popular deck. I faced a lot of 3-access decks, and I have not lost to any of them, because like I said, I either gained so much advantage to the point where they lose, and Valor just, like I said, it stops them completely. Next up, we have Dark Hole. It's still a good card because, so there are times where I have to Dark Hole then summon Bear and get that direct attack in, add a Tenki, add a Tensu, whatever I need to do, it helps. Pot of Hours is fantastic in this deck. There are so many times where, you need to make another Horse Prince. Generally, I feel like 2 is enough. You don't need to main deck 3, but if you need to, you can definitely do so. But Pot of Hours is just so good in this deck because it's a very fast deck. Another reason why I'm playing 3 Maxi and 3 Valor is because Avarice is much more live in that aspect. Next up, play Reborn. It's Monster Reborn. I just play 1 Duality. Sometimes you just don't have the option to go for a huge play. So, like I said, there are a lot of times, especially when you're not playing like the Blaster build. Like I'm playing Triple Blaster because Blaster is awesome. Again, it's just one of those first turn plays where it's really good to get rid of back row. Again, another reason why I'm not actually running Gyoku. I still have double Space Typhoon and I have Triple Blaster to pop anything, but sometimes you just have to go for Leopard into Tenki into Search for Spirit and then go off next turn. But Duality is just an awesome card. I think 1 is actually really good. I don't really like 2 Duality in here. As much as I used to love triple Duality in every deck, I think 1's enough for this because this deck is all about synchroing and XYZing as fast as possible. Next up, just 2 Space Typhoon and a Heavy Storm, and then 3 Tensu. I can't stress off how important it is to actually play 3 Tensu. I was playing 2, I was playing 1, I've tested so many times. 3 is the number. You want to go for first turn this card, especially against Mirror Match. You go for first turn this card, and if you have a hand trap, you basically win at that point. Next up, 3 Tenki, and no explanation for that. 2 Bottomless, 2 Torrentials. The reason why I'm playing all these faster traps, and Solemn Warning, these faster traps is because Gyoku is kind of a card that sometimes people will get out with Chicken, and I'd rather just Bottomless when they go for their plays than anything, and Bottomless is still a fantastic card. I almost want to drop the Torrentials for Compulse, because sometimes I don't want to lose my Fire Prince. But then another way you can look at it is I've stopped their play, and then next turn I'm just going to go Spirit, and then go for the play again, and then add Spirit. So I don't know, you can kind of look at your options that way. Plus, sometimes you get warning that it happens, and Torrential's fantastic when, you have no monsters and you hit your opponent for, multiple monsters on Torrential. But, Compulse is a fantastic card, and I don't think that, it would be bad if you want to drop Torrential for some Compulses. Next up, 1 Solemn Warning. There's no Solemn Judgment here. There's a lot of times I feel like where Solemn Judgment you end up paying too much life points, and if your opponent just summons something again, you just lose straight up because you Solemn Judgmented. There's a lot of times where you Solemn Judgment early on, and it costs you games. And the way I look at it, I'm playing 3 Maxi, I'm playing 3 Valor, and these are a much better first turn, as you know, you guys know that you can't activate Solemn Judgment from your hand unless you played something in the traditional format. But I feel like Warning is still a fantastic card. Don't get me wrong, I think Solemn Judgment is a fantastic card, but the way I look at it is the format is very fast, and after your opponent makes a play, you know, sometimes Solemn Judgment, like for example, if you're playing Mirror Match, they go for a first turn Horse Prince, and you draw a Solemn Judgment after that. You can stop their next play, but they're still going to have a field, which is, you know, usually over 4,000 attack, because this plus, you know, multiple Tenki, or just one Tenki plus one Tensu, plus Chicken's got, was it 1,500, and it boosts up. So yeah, you're going to be getting hit for a lot if you can't throw in a monster first turn. So that's why I like Triple Maxi, Triple Valor, and then I just drop the Judgment. That's the way I looked at it. And then lastly, just to round off the traps, I just play 1 Starlight Road. I think Starlight Road's a fantastic card, because you have so much stuff set a lot of the times. You know, Heavy is a card, so Starlight Road is still going to be good. And I like Starlight Road because sometimes you have the option to just go for game. There's a lot of times where if you happen to have the right cards in your hand, you can go, you know, Wolfbark into Bear into make this guy. And then if you have Tenki or Tensu, whatever one you have, search out for a Spirit, and if you have the play, you can go off and pretty much OTK them at that point. If you have Reborn, or you know, you happen to have Blaster and you didn't use Spirit's effect this turn, maybe you already have it, yeah. There's a lot of times where you can just OTK simply by, you know, Tiger King. And I love this card because he absolutely destroys Tragodia. There's a game where this guy had a huge Tragodia, and he didn't attack with it, and then I just went, oh, it's fine, because I set so many back row. I don't remember what I set, but they were all bluffs. Nothing could actually stop the Tragodia. But I did have an effect failure in my hand, but he just kept that thing in attack mode and just passed, and then I went, okay, next turn make Tiger King. Your Tragodia now has 0 attack directly, and it was game. So there are times where, you know, it's pretty awesome. Now let's go ahead and go over the extra deck. So I got 1 Stardust, 2 Horse Prince, 1 Beast God Vulcan, 1 Gemini Pearl. He's just kind of there. Honestly, you could probably drop this guy out if you want to mix it up, put some XYZ that you're more comfortable with running. Next up, Tiger King, Black Ship of Corn, Direwolf, Steelstorm Roach. Even though this card isn't really too good against a lot of the meta, there are some times where you face against Lightsworn and this card just saves you. I really love this card against Lightsworn. It's more than anything, this card just eats Lightsworn up, and it makes me so excited. But I hate when they mill Wolf and then attacks over it, and you're like, why? Why does Wolf have to have so much attack? And then this is actually my favorite XYZ, Maestro Symphony Jin. Daigusto Emerald, sometimes you can recycle cards. It's just kind of there, just to recycle cards, because I have extra room. I play 1 Dweller, 1 Cowboy, Levier. This card's very important. Do not cut this card. There are times, like I said, where you can get back a Bear and get back a Tenki, Tensu, and then you can make, you know, a stun card like, you know, like Dweller or perhaps Roach at the right time, and it can help out a lot. And then just round off a Zen mains. So this is going to be the deck profile for the 3/4 Axis Fire Fist deck. Like I said, those were my reasons for not playing Gyoku. That is definitely a good card, don't get me wrong at all. This is just a different build because, like I said, I wanted to be able to battle the Mirror Match, and honestly, this is such a good deck against the Mirror Match. But like I said, I didn't upload any of those games because what happens is if I go for my first turn play and I just Valor or Maxi at that point, they just either quit or I win the next turn, and you know, it's just kind of one of those OTKs. And I try to upload games where they're more interesting so you can see, you know, the decks kind of fight out, or something really entertaining like, you know, someone trying to win with Ice Bears. But he got close. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. And if you have any suggestions for this deck, let me know, because I'm definitely, you know, looking to improve this deck. The way I look at it, as far as the metagame goes, because as you guys know, I promised you guys I'd be doing some more metagame. This deck is definitely good. However, I feel like it's a little bit linear. Majority of the plays are pretty simple, and they just make this card, and they kind of just set up to loop and make the card again next turn. But what it comes down to is I like decks where you just don't see these plays coming. I think Mermails has that edge factor of, like, you know, you really have to, you know, use your mind, and you can really use Yu-Gi-Oh! As a critical thinking game and, you know, play out of situations, where this deck doesn't really play out of situations. Majority of the time when you play out of, you know, a stun card, it's usually Tenki Bear Pop, add Tenki, add Tensu, or it's pretty easy to play. I like decks that are difficult, even though sometimes I fail at them. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Asian Eyes out.